What is going on, YouTube? PPS here. Pass the prop. We're back here. NBA slate. Pretty nice one, actually. We got a pretty full slate today on the docket. Happy to be back in the NBA here. Got a couple days, maybe one. I'll probably give you 1 day worth of college or before we get back to college. But hey, we're ready. At least they gave us a good slate. Joined as always by my guy Stu. What's good, man?
Nothing much, like you said, obviously March Madness is kind of taking over the world right now, and it's been a ton of fun, obviously cashing on some bets. And then we had yesterday where, most of the favorites won. It was a little bit less fun overall if you're just a fan of the madness like I am. But hey, we're back in the NBA today. I've had some good success this weekend. It's that time of year. I know people like to tune off the NBA, maybe wait till playoffs. For me, this is the time of year I look forward to all year, right? We get the role players, we get the rookies, we get teams that are rebuilding, throwing out some lineups that we've never seen before. To me, all that stuff is way more interesting and I think way more valuable, than a lot of the common stuff that you see on a day-to-day basis because sports books are more familiar pricing those numbers. So for me, I know it's maybe not as sexy, when some of these teams start rolling out some ugly lineups, but for me, I think it's the best time of year to capitalize. So excited to help do that a little bit today. We both got some good props and yeah, let's keep the momentum going. It's been good recently.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yeah, I know, dude. It's just taking over my life at this point. But hey, we got some winners today, so excited for that. We'll take a look at the chat. We got Cashville in here. We got Matt in here. Appreciate you popping in, my friends. And we'll get it rolling. Unfortunately for me, I got to move a little quicker today. I got spring break work schedule is weird, dude. It's just I got an hour break before I pop back in, so this is like our quick one here today. But Stu, what's the game that you're looking at here that you like? And then maybe we could talk a little bit of the Sweet 16, talk about your bracket and stuff here quick.
Yeah. Oh boy. I don't know if we want to hear about the bracket too much, but yeah, I think tonight, it's definitely an ugly slate. It's one of those slates where like we have a lot of games, but like none of the matchups are actually that appealing. So for me, I think it's just going to be once again like one of these kind of weird, ugly games like the Pistons and the Knicks. I made some money on the Pistons yesterday. They obviously have Cade back. I like Cade in the first quarter again. I like a lot of first quarter props today. That'll be a reoccurring trend given all the blowouts. So for me, the Knicks, some guys like McBride, Burks is now questionable as well. Like we're just going to see 40 minutes again from the Knicks. Like they played their guys 40 minutes in a blowout like 2 games ago. So it's not like that's unheard of. The Pistons are going to have some wacky lineups. Like I think there's going to be some fun props in that game. So it's an ugly slate, but I'm going to go dumpster diving tonight.
Yeah, it almost makes it impossible to do DFS tonight, honestly. I'm not even going to try because the amount of injuries throughout this slate is absurd, man. I mean, you're seeing, even like the Blazers, bro, like 7 questionable tags out there. Right, you look at half these, like almost every one of these games has at least 3 questionable tags. Makes it almost impossible, unless you're literally on your phone right beforehand, right before the 6 o'clock starts. Because like all the bigger ones with all the injury news is like the 6:30 tips, in my area here. So it just makes it really hard to play those, unfortunately. But you have a lot of dudes that probably will pay out value. It's just everybody's going to do it. It's going to be a stars and scrub type of lineup day. And it's like, we can see Luka at 50% ownership. We can see Nikola Jokic at 40% ownership. And that they usually been almost impossible to get to at a 12K price tag. So makes it a little tougher there. I'm going to be going with this one right here. Mavs Jazz. That's going to be my favorite game. Obviously the total is fantastic. Should be awesome game, honestly. Both teams horrendous defensively. Both teams moving pretty quickly. I was really surprised to see the Mavs continue to do this. I thought it was just the beginning of the year, but now they're like still top 10 in pace this far into the year. They used to be one of the slowest teams in basketball, and now they just flipped the script. And obviously they got to keep winning, right? You got to keep winning and moving around that Western Conference. A lot of moving parts there, so got to keep putting up the numbers, got to keep winning, and I think that'll be a fun game. And the Jazz, I think, will keep it close. They're in Utah. Hopefully that gives them like a 2-3 point edge, and we can get this one to stay close.
Yeah, Jazz, another team playing the young guys right now, right? Taylor Hendricks could be an interesting name to look at. Like they're just, I mean, Sensabaugh, who we talked about before, is shot chucking a little bit out there. Like they're letting the young guys play a little bit more. I know Laurie's back in the mix as well now, which is good for keeping games close. Then I see Cashel in the chat. Keontae, he's been so good to me. I think Keontae George will probably end up on my card in some way or another tonight, right? We know how good, obviously, the Mavericks are on offense with those guards, but it's not necessarily the best guard defense in the world on the other side. So a guy like George, who's playing so many minutes, he's been very good to me this season. I definitely think he's a very good option tonight, like that 20-plus points.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I know a lot of people talking about Delano Blanton, Cashville talking there. I mean, that's the thing, though, is you got to get those names ruled out, right? I mean, if Anthony Simon sits, oh, my God. Like, that game is going to be absolute disgusting. But that's going to lead us right on into our first play. I'll kick it over to you. So we got 15 of you guys, first couple minutes. Appreciate you popping in. Hit that like button if you could. And we already have you guys talking about that game, so I might as well kick you over to Stu's first play here.
Yeah, I think this is going to be the game that I have the most action in for sure. Obviously, when you guys brought it up, this is a fun one. For me, I like DeAndre Ayton over 5.5 first quarter points, minus 128 over on FanDuel. You're going to better price than you are over on DraftKings right now, which is obviously big, and you definitely want to line shop that right there. You mentioned it. For me, I'm looking at this with all the questionables in right now, and I still love it, right? Let's assume Simons plays. Let's go for it, and let's assume Grant, who is doubtful right now, does not play. For me, that is perfectly fine, but like you mentioned, it's that time of year. Simons could very easily not play, and suddenly that volume could go from elite to insane, right? So you never want to rule out that possibility, but for me, we're asking for 3 baskets right here. He's probably not going to shoot a 3. We might get to the free throw line. So right here, it's just straight up 3 baskets. They're offering 4 as a parlay piece. I played that with 3 rebounds as well if you want to get a little bit more exposure. I don't even think 4 should be an option, so I kind of had to hit that. And obviously the rebounds are a good look right there. But when you look at this matchup, right, we're going up against Houston. And guess what, guys? Houston does not have a center right now. Sengun is down. Obviously, Jabari, who's one of the most versatile young defensive forwards out there, has now been suspended a game for throwing that punch in the last one, which means we're down to either the corpse of Jeff Green, who started the second half, who is about 6'8", and somehow getting those backup center minutes, or we got Jock Landale, a guy who's somehow turned from truly one of the worst players in the league to now like a somewhat formidable backup center that gets some good offensive minutes. But on the defensive side of the ball, it's nothing, right? And we've got a huge size mismatch. And we've talked about Ayton a couple times. Since he's been back, he's been fully engaged, locked in, and he's been planting himself right under the rim and going to work, right? He's been really aggressive in all these games. I've seen some people on his full game points. For me, I just think there's a lot of variance in this game, right? With the Rockets having injuries, with obviously Portland having a ton of injuries. But what we do know is he's going to play that 8 to 10 minute, cycle in the first quarter. He's averaging 6.9 points without Jeremy Grant in the first quarter alone this season. So almost a full basket over this already. We're going to see at least 6 field goal attempts for a guy that only is shooting them under the rim. These are high percentile shots, right? 6 is what we're looking like for a point guard, right? I like DeJounte Murray today. And that shot profile is much riskier, taking multiple threes. Everything Ayton is doing is a high percentile shot right here. So for me, I really love the possibility of him getting to work. I think this is going to be a good game for him in general. Clear size mismatch, a strong lack of talent around him right now. If he suits up and plays, which I'm assuming he will, because the injury report looks good so far, and he was out early when he didn't play last game, then I think this is just going to be a stellar matchup for him. So if they're going to give me this number, I'm going to attack. I like the full game as well, but I think this is, just a poorly priced number over on FanDuel right now.
Yes, sir. And not to just kind of bum rush you here, but Kate Cunningham ruled out with another day of injury maintenance.
Wow.
That game is just, I will not be playing DFS. Officially will not be playing DFS now because 58-60% Marcus Sasser, I'm sure is going to be fucking owned. Taj Gibson out, right? Now we're going to just see these no Isaiah Stewart, no Duran.
Yeah.
Oh my God, no Fontecchio. Like what are we playing here, dude?
Well,
I
I
mean,
played Ebukam last night, Tosun Ebukam, who's a former March Madness standout. That's the reason I know about him from last year. He cashed for me last night. Not sure I want to go back to the well, though. Not sure, like the shots he was taking wasn't great. Wiseman, I assume, is going to be in store for another chance to prove himself here. Oh, that's brutal. Like you said, Sasser's been tough in these situations because they price him really high. And he doesn't necessarily, the hit rate hasn't been amazing on those super high numbers. So I don't know who I'm going to go to. That's a good question. I was hoping Cade would play. I really liked him in the first quarter in that game, but oh boy, that's going to be real ugly now. What's the spread? It's already 16 and is it going to be 20 now? Is that what we're going to go to? Like, damn.
right now it's at 16.
Yeah.
Obviously, all of the. Oh, do they have Fontecchio in for this game?
I
see Fontecchio in for this game. At least they're giving DraftKings are giving props. But holy shit, dude! Like I don't want to touch anything in this game at all. What do you think the team total is for them? Probably like 88, 90?
I think I saw 97 last night. It was like an opener, I believe. So it's probably gone down from that, but
96 now.
Yeah, that still seems tempting. I
almost want to take the under, dude.
Yeah, it spreads up to 17 now over as well on FanDuel. Interesting. I'm curious what these new props are, but it's what I was saying earlier. It's dumpster diving, but it makes the Knicks side a lot harder because those rotations already are fucking insane. So now we really don't know what he's going to do here.
Well, that's the thing is like, how big of a blowout will it have to be for Tibbs to pull them? Because they could be up 25 in the first half. Like, realistically, they should be up 25 in the first half against this team.
I mean, I don't even know. We need a resident Knicks expert in here, but I think it's one of those things where I think he's going to play his starters 30 minutes. Like, I think those guys see 30, but you're right. If it's 30 to 12, then it's kind of hard to justify. But if Burks is out, if all those injuries, a guy like McBride, who's young and already been a bench player, he could still see, that extended run. So, and also one more thing, to be fair, these insane spread games where one team is fully fucked are normally the games that can stay a little close when one team doesn't take it as seriously. So the Knicks aren't quite the team to target for that, but I will say that's always a possibility.
Jalen Duren officially out. Victor Wembanyama out.
Oh, okay.
What the fuck, dude? This slate is just straight garbage. Now my guy who I'm playing tonight, probably going to be 80% owned on DraftKings tonight if you're going to play him. Luka Doncic is probably going to be 80% owned in this matchup. I saw a straight sniper talk about Kyrie quite a bit, but dude, I can't. I don't know if I can bet anybody but Luka in this because this dude's usage rate is absurd, bro. Like even with him in, right? Even with Kyrie in this season, usage is 36%, clearing 40 obviously with no Kyrie. And I thought about this all morning. I'm like, do I want to play rebounds? Do I want to play assists? Do I want to play point? I liked every one of them. I liked every single one of them. And I'm like, might as well just throw a hammer on these and play them all together because over this win streak, right? And I don't think many people are talking about it. I mean, they're on a 7-game win streak. Obviously lost 3 in a row, Boston, Philly, Indiana. And then, like I said, they just Miami, Detroit, Chicago, Golden State, Denver, right? I mean, they play some good teams in this run. Luka over this month, 32, 10, and 9. Well, 9.8, so 10. So averaging a triple-double this month, obviously, in that's pretty crazy already. You just want to talk about that. That's already crazy. Let's see. Are you hearing me?
I can. You're a little choppy.
Can you hear me now? Okay, yeah. That was weird. Yeah, that was weird. I don't know what just happened there. But yeah, like I said, almost averaging a triple-double this month. Has a fantastic matchup with Utah. I know we were talking about peripherals, and Luka over the last 10 games, number 1 in the NBA in potential assists at 17, going towards rebounds here, 13 over his last 10 games. Really tough for me to want to get away from these guys. In a fantastic matchup, 8-point spread in Utah. If it was in Dallas, yes, I would be a little bit more skeptical. But man, dude, how do I get away from Luka in the spot? I really don't know how I'm going to. You want pop-off games on each side. He has a 16-assist game. He's got a 12-rebound game, a 14-assist game, and then obviously a 39-point game this month already. And I don't see anybody staying in front of him. Obviously, you got Walker Kessler down there. That's pretty much their last. I don't know really anything else that's going to try and stop anybody in the paint. What is it? Yurtseven is over there, I think, still. It's like, I mean, I ain't worried about him. So
True.
I'm going to be I'm very happy to be rolling with Luka. I wish all these dudes weren't ruled out so I could have a little less ownership on them, but I know it's going to be a pretty high usage game for Luka in a spot where I don't trust anybody to stop him.
Yeah, and I mean the Jazz too have obviously been kind of giving it up to stars. Luka just at 34, Jalen Green 41. Like they've been having a lot of trouble stopping those guys. And when you look at it, there's no rim protection, right? There's really like he can kind of do whatever he wants on the mid range. He can get to his spots right here when it's John Collins down in the paint, right? And then their alternative to John Collins is going to be Walker Kessler, who I like Walker Kessler, but he's going to play that deep drop, and it's going to give Luka, once again, more time to do whatever he wants. So this is really a team that's not equipped to stop him. They're playing high-pace, low defense games because they're getting the urine guys minutes, right? They're kind of letting it fly right now. So for me, I think this profiles is a great game for Luka to keep on, being Luka. It's kind of as simple as that, right? That's what you're betting on at a number like this. And it's kind of insane that he continues to do what he does, but here we are, right?
Yeah, 237.5 total, highest on the slate as well. Obviously, has to do with the defenses on both sides just being atrocious. So let's recap. We got 2 spots today, smaller slate for us, but I know you got a long shot. I will be looking and posting in comments later. Stu, take it away.
Sounds good. We are going in the first quarter in this one. We're going DeAndre Ayton over 5.5 first quarter points, -128 over on FanDuel Sportsbook.
And I'll be the one with Luka over 53.5 points, rebounds, assists. I know it's high, guys, but I don't expect him not to have the ball in his hands for 40 minutes here if this one stays close. So, Stu, I know you were talking about having a long shot. What are you thinking here today?
Yeah, well, I have one kind of crazy one, which is, Denny Avdia to have a triple-double at 50-1 tonight. That's
50?
50-1, yeah, on ESPN Bet. You can obviously, I would say like, that's the only one I've locked in right now. What I'm looking at, I'll probably do some like 20 points / 10 rebounds, kind of like plus money things as well, because I love Denny tonight on my Wizards. I think he has upside in all 3 categories, kind of similar to what you were saying with Luka Doncic, and why you liked him. I was looking at PRA. I was looking at just assists before the show, because if there has been one thing that's been successful for the Wizards so far, it's kind of been Denny and Kispert, right? These 2 young guys that have actually developed a good amount. And we've seen Denny now over 10 potential assists in all 3 of these last games with 5 assists in each. No Tyus Jones in the lineup, right? He's going to be like the secondary playmaker behind Jordan Poole. And we know Jordan Poole isn't much of a playmaker himself. So we obviously know Denny is a threat. I mean, his regular rebounds numbers, 8.5 right now? He's already a threat for rebounds. He's clearly already a threat for points, as his numbers now 17.5, 16.5. So really, I think we're getting like a really nice price just on the assists to kind of go crazy. But I think he has a great night all over the court. Obviously, it's hard to get that assist number. So I'll be playing some like 20 points, 10 rebounds, 5 assists, little same game parlays. But this is obviously the biggest one for me.
Yeah, it's a fat price tag for a guy that we've seen hit it before, right? I'm sure if you look at other places, you're not going to find a 50-1, but ESPN Bet always a good spot here. I'm sure FanDuel is going to give you like a 35, right? A 35-40. And 50-1, man, I mean, definitely worse bets out there, especially when if this game stays close, you could see him push 40 minutes here, right? So could be a fun one here.
Yeah, if they keep this game close, like this is like live. I mean, you're kind of racing with the blowout a little bit with anything, but I completely agree. And I'll have some more, Denny props on Twitter for the rest of the day as well.
Yeah, it's going to be a fun slate, dumpster diving for sure. FanDuel at 48-1, obviously not too bad there. But yeah, this is going to be so gross. Some of these people playing are just going to be like, why am I betting on you? But I'm still going to find a way to do it. Because they're going to play, man, and they're going to be minimum price playing. Yeah, anything else from you, Stu? I know it's a bit quicker show. Got 30 of you guys in here live with us, obviously keeping this one a little bit shorter. You got anything else for the people here? I don't think we had any other questions or anything. Actually, thoughts on this? Amen Thompson.
Ooh, perfect. Okay, I'm playing Amen today. So shout out to anyone that's in here right now. That'll be one of my plays later today. I like the 13.5 points. 30% of his points come in transition, and he now gets one of the best transition matchups around. Where else does he score in the paint? It's not a good paint, or I'm sorry, it's not a bad paint matchup. It's not an elite paint matchup, but it's DeAndre Ayton. It's just who we talked about. That's not someone we're scared of driving against, right? And then obviously the backups are pretty undersized. They play a lot of small ball. So for me, the thing with Amen is always transition and it's attacking the paint, right? There's no jumper, there's no shot. So you're really depending on his athleticism to kind of shine through. And I think this is the kind of matchup where he can do it. So definitely like Amen today. Great question. One of my favorite young players in the league. Obviously, I bet on him a lot so far. You just got to be careful the spots you attack him in, because there's some clear matchups where, like, if a team is going to force him to shoot, it's not going to be good, right? And obviously, Jabari Smith helps with that is a lot, because we want minutes, and we should finally have them guaranteed in this game. So definitely, I know you're following on Twitter. Shout out, legend. But if you're not, go follow on Twitter, or you can see all that stuff once again.
Yes, sir. If you're still on ESPN, bet Amen is 13.5 points at -120, maybe a points rebound spot, possibly. It's just so hard for me to bet points on anybody not named Jalen Green when I know he's going to shoot 48 times in this game. Like, holy shit, dude. I want to look at his usage rate through those last two games, because it's been fucking nuts. I think, 30 plus shots each?
Yeah, it's insane. I don't have it pulled up in front of me,
All
but
right.
the volume has been like spectacular, and it's been fun to watch too. I mean,
20,
he is a fun guy when they let him play.
23, 20, 21, 22, 22 shot attempts, and now you take away Jabari Smith.
Yeah.
The thing is there's no way he keeps up this efficiency, though. Yeah. Honestly, like 15 for 22, 7 for 11 from 3. 10 for 22, 4 for 12 from 3, 7 for 13 from 3. Right? I don't expect that to continue. So maybe that is a Thompson spot, right? Because I don't expect him to be. I mean, obviously Portland's atrocious, but my God, shooting like that. I mean, the true shooting right now is through the roof. I've seen enough Jalen Green where I don't expect him to be shooting 50% from 3.
Yeah. Also, huge thing, Matisse Thybulle. If he's back, that is huge. He's one of the best defensive players in the league, point blank. To guard a guy like Jalen Green, even for 20 minutes, 24 minutes. Obviously, he's questionable right now, but that would be huge, and that would be a great bump for the surrounding cast. So definitely something I would hope for. Not going to keep my fingers crossed, though, because, he hasn't played the last couple of days. So just another, little nugget right there. But I'm excited for that game. I said it earlier. It's going to be the one I have the most action in. Definitely an interesting one with the injuries opening up some opportunity for these other guys to shine through.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Stu, what do you got for the people here, man? I know we got a big slate we've been talking about here. Anything else that you want to talk about?
Yeah, I mean, just go follow on Twitter. Leave a like if you haven't already. I see it straight sniper throwing some shade at Matisse Thybulle. It may be because he's not on your Sixers anymore. Wasn't a fan with the lack of offense over there, but he's a menace, man. On ball, I get what you're saying, sure, but he's I promise you, he's one of the best leg guard defenders in the league. Like, there's not much competition. He can do nothing on offense, so that's really what holds him back right there. But we can argue about Matisse Thybulle anytime. What I was gonna say is, the momentum has been strong. The picks have been good. I think the analysis has been good. And like I said, I think this is a great time. If you don't have like notifications on, turn them on. We're getting more props closer to game time. But like Ryan Rupert, the international prospect, is a guy I slammed the unders, posted them in my Discord. Chris Murray, we got the over, slammed those. Like, they don't post those kind of guys until 20 minutes before, 30 minutes before, but those are the kind of guys that you can make a lot of money on. So definitely make sure you're following on Twitter, tapped in. I am fully locked in for this time of year. I'm ready to go, ready to make a lot of money. I'm fired up. So yeah, definitely follow on Twitter, notifications on. It's that time of year, guys. Let's get it going.
Yes, sir. Yeah, I'm trust you on these role player dudes. I watch a lot of NBA, but right now, dude, I haven't watched an NBA game in a week now with no with college basketball season taking over my life. So I will post a long shot later. Obviously, Stu talked about 50-1. I'm sure that is enough money for you guys. If he's gonna be cashing that, even throwing $10, I mean $500, not too shabby. So Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Again, if you could hit that like, subscribe, we appreciate that. And we'll be back on Wednesday. Not sure if we'll talk this or if we talk NCAA because the games start Thursday. So I'll keep you updated. Make sure you follow both of us on Twitter, have those notifications on, and we will be back ready to roll with you guys on Wednesday. So thank you guys. Have a good one, and best of luck tonight.